Guys, and welcome back to my weekly videos. We're still going over some shapes, um, and I find it helpful to go over these basic shapes because they're like the building blocks of shapes that are all around us. Okay, so I'll kind of show you what I mean. So today we're talking about cones and we're talking about cylinders. Okay, so cones and cylinders also have circles in them, and I'll explain to you what I mean. So let's see. Oh, silly Jenny. Silly Miss Jenny. I forgot to. Oh, here. Here's a good one. Okay. So you have something like this, right? A box of cookies that's flat, but it's a rectangle, right? Or you might have something that is like this cup right here, and the side has that rectangle shape, but the difference between these two is that this is flat, right? Because it's flat rectangular on all the sides. It's a rectangular prism. But this is curved. It's rounded because there's a circle on the bottom and there's a circle on the top. Okay? And that circle with the flat sides, but they're rounded, that's what makes it a cylinder. And I don't have very good examples of cones. I should probably go get some like party hats or something. You don't see cones quite as much. Maybe for like ice cream cones, something like that. But it's a lot like the cylinder. It's rounded on the bottom, but instead of being flat and then rounded at the top or with a circle, it comes to a point, right? So like the almost like the tip of a pen, right? So if you were to think of this shape or a pencil, if we were to cut this part off, it would be come to a point, and then the bottom would be a circle, right? But it's straight going up the sides, but they are rounded because of that circle. Okay, so with cylinders and cones, there's a couple ways that you can make them look. You can take them from triangles and rectangles and then make them 3D, right? The way that we did with squares and rectangles, and we made them into cubes and rectangular prisms. So when you're drawing, we could do that with our drawing, but the biggest thing that makes cylinders or cones look 3D is light. Okay, so if you can see on this pen, and I'll get out my light box here soon, we'll have some fun, right? But if you can see in this pen how I have on the sides, it looks a little bit darker, but then I have this like light that shines right up to the middle here. You see that? Or with my cylinder, I have like 3, 4 light sources in my room to make it really well lit. So maybe this will show up better with our shadow box. But the cylinder is pretty similar, except for that you can see the multiple light sources. But usually cylinders, you do it the same way. It's a little bit darker on the outside edges and it gets lighter. And then you have like this gleam of light that goes down the side, right? Or, you have cups. Let's see. My chapstick. You can see it really well in the cap, right? So right over here, it's dark and it's really light right there, and then it gets darker again over on this side. Or this tape. Let's see how that looks. Ooh. The tape is like really shiny, so it has like lots in there. Okay, the glossier something is, or the shinier, right? Like if it's like a plastic or glass, like my glasses, stuff like that, that reflects more light. Whereas if you have something that's cylinder, that's like a roll of paper, right? This is toilet paper. It doesn't have quite that like shiny look because it is fabric. It has more fibers. It's not the like glossy. It takes in some of that light because there's little tiny bumps and holes inside of it. All right, but you can kind of see with this one that you have it darker and then it slowly gets brighter and brighter. And I have a lamp that I'm touching right here that's really close. So this side is where the lamp is. It's really lit up. But usually, there we go, that's a better angle. Usually you have a little bit darker on the sides, lighter down the middle. Okay. So, and then just a little food for thought. Excuse me. I wanted to throw this out there because I was like, what about plates, you know? And technically, plates would also be cylinders. As weird as it is, because they are round on the top and the bottom. It's a circle. But the side is just like a really tiny smushed cylinder shape. It's not tall like this is. Okay, so this would be a cylinder. Darker on the sides, a little bit lighter in the middle, or even this kind of plate would be a cylinder too. Right, so it kind of angles down, almost as like it starts that cone shape, but like the top of the cone was just cut off. Right, so, but you can see that right in here, if this was completely flat, it would still be cylinder shape. It would just be like it was really squished, like an elephant just stepped on it. Okay. Or, you know, you might have odd cylinder shapes where it's not quite a circle. It might be more of an oval on the top and the bottom. Right, so this glue is a really good example. Okay, because the bottom is an oval. The top right here is an oval. Okay, so, and it's curved. You have that light that shines through because it's curved. And then here you have an actual like cylinder because it's the circle, right? Straight on the sides. And then here it starts as a cylinder, but then it comes up to a cone. Oh my goodness. It's like all of them together. It's craziness, right? Because once you have all these shapes, the rectangular prism and the cones and the cylinders and the cubes and then the spheres, those are like the building blocks of how to draw all kinds of shapes. Okay, so once you understand those basic shapes and how to make them look more realistic, you can start applying that to even more complicated stuff like this. All right, it's pretty cool. It just takes practice and a lot of observation. You have to really look at your surroundings and really think about it and pay attention to that light. So we're going to talk about the light. Let's see. So first we're going to talk about how to draw the shape. And then I'll get out my light box, right? And then actually we'll talk about the shape. And then we will do an activity for our younger grades. And then I will do another one for our upper grades to try and draw. I'm going to decide what that is. Maybe we'll try that glue. But for our younger grades, we're going to start with just like standard cylinder shape. Okay? Okay, so first, check out the Lightbox video. And so you can just kind of like take a look at it. Or actually, no, we could do that last. So I'm going to pause here or stop here. Okay, it's like an introduction video. And then I'm going to do 2 different videos for I'll do kindergarten through 3rd and then 4th through 6th. And we'll draw some different things like we did last week. Okay? All right, I'll see you in the next video.